Hey everybody, Dirili here, back again with another episode of Piofiore on Dante's Route. We're at their secret hideout now, pretty much their safe house. And we're getting installments of the truth here about the fact that I'm the key maiden and all. But for some reason we keep deciding after every single fact we learn we have to take a break. So let's see what they do during this next break and if we get much more of the story. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story.
Hey, Dante, how about we stop here?
Nicola interrupted Dante with a bothered look on his face. He really doesn't want me to know more.
I don't think any more details are necessary. You said all she needs to know, right?
What, do I need to die for the seal to be open?
To add, I don't think it's a good idea to put so much emphasis on the relic and the seal when it's only a legend.
Ah, so he doesn't really believe in all this. Just like he was saying that, he was kind of looking down on me before for believing about the healing stuff. He was like, you believe that?
We'd be fools if it turns out that none of it was real.
Yeah, so it sounds like no matter what, he would probably be opposed to using me as the key maiden. But I do have a sign, a scar on me.
Maybe the key maiden is real in the way that the Falzone family is real.
That we simply exist and are labeled thusly.
But there's nothing divine about it. You're both crossing the line into fantasy.
Yep, that's what he believes.
Are you implying that the Falzone blood and the key maiden are relics of the past?
He's implying that it was all make-believe in the first place.
Oh, that's right. Don't you know what year it is? It's 1925. We're in the 20th century.
Get with the times.
How much longer are you going to place faith in miracles and legends?
Dante didn't answer. He simply stared at Nicola quietly. Nicola stared back, with eyes like the calm sea, but soon enough he looked away.
I'm sorry. I suppose I got worked up there. I don't care what you think about my thoughts on the legend's validity. But what you shared here is top-secret material. Talking about it was a mistake. She has the right to know as the key maiden. I see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, if other people know this legend, then I should know about the legend because I should know that other people might want me for this reason.
Of course, I wouldn't have disclosed what was said here had she not been dragged into our activities. You know, you're a nice person, Dante, but those outside our bloodline can betray us.
You think I'm going to betray you?
We don't have anything to prove that we can trust her.
Oh, come on. I mean, aside from a little stupidity, I've been a good girl.
Was that too much? I'm sorry. You did disregard Dante's orders and left the manor of your own accord, didn't you?
Yeah, like you've always been completely obedient yourself, Nicola. Haven't been a few times when you disobeyed Dante as well. And you guys trust Leo, and he's disobeyed a couple times too. I'm sorry. I couldn't refute it since what he said was true. I looked down in shame. Dante was looking straight at Nicola as he spoke.
That's something for which I'm partly at fault. I didn't properly explain to her. I'll say it again. She has the right to know. That is my decision as boss of the Falzone family.
Hearing Dante's stern words, Nicola shut his mouth and sighed in dissatisfaction.
Fine. I give up. But if we're going to talk, let's stay constructive. There's nothing more to say about the legend.
Doesn't sound like that to me. How do we open the seal exactly? And how much Falzone blood do they need?
What's important now is the current situation. Why did you bring her here?
To protect me, of course. Duh.
It's too dangerous for her to stay at the manor after the breach. But it's where our security is the strongest. All of our men are there.
And apparently they proved nothing. Orlok cut through them like butter.
This place is going to fall like a house of cards if the enemy finds out. I'm surprised you even considered this an option.
we just go travel abroad?
No matter how secure the manor is, it has already allowed an enemy inside. That means that the enemy can infiltrate the premises at any time. He was also formidable. You and I may be the only ones who can face him. His target is Lily. Staying in the manor will only serve to endanger the others. Since we aren't there, the enemy will be returning.
As long as the enemy knows you're not there.
So then he'll still be coming after her. Yes, which is better for us.
It sounds like Dante left the manor to protect everyone, including us. Dante maintained his calm and continued the explanation.
There's another reason why I left. If the enemy can infiltrate the manor that easily, he could have attacked as soon as she entered our custody. There must have been a reason that he attacked only now. If so, going into hiding takes priority, then preparing ourselves while gathering in intel. I see. I can understand that reasoning. It would be unwise to take action without information. Oh, and there's something I didn't share yet in regards to the attacker. I spoke with our men at the scene and cross-referenced their descriptions of his appearance with my data.
Niccolo was smiling gently, but I could hear that his tone of voice was more serious.
The person who attacked was my informant. His name is Orlok.
Why are you still smiling about that? Did you know this was going to happen?
Our misguided rat hunt last time was because Orlok sold me bad information. It was just about then that Orlok struck. The dots seem to connect, don't they?
I see.
True. Furthermore, he called himself a disciple. The average informant wouldn't know about the disciples. Then Orlok must be associated with the church.
But then, does that mean Sister Sophia was working with him, or had she changed her alliance and actually cared about me more than the church?
It seems I've been had. I thought I did a thorough background check on him. Then again, I guess his background was too clean. There was absolutely nothing distinct about him.
Can I ask a question? Who are those people who are calling themselves disciples?
They are a group of people who monitor us to ensure we are properly fulfilling our role as guardians of the relic. They are disciples of the church.
And I guess they decided you're not doing your job? So they monitor the Falzone. I nodded and tried to absorb the information.
There's something else that bothers me. It's about when we captured that Lao Shu. He looked at Lily and called her the Key Maiden.
He's talking about that time when... Yep, that kid.
The Key Maiden?
I remember that very well.
There are only a select few who actually know about the Key Maiden. Within the Falzone family, only those with Falzone blood and the upper echelons know. And even fewer know who exactly the Key Maiden is.
So, the Lao Shu got their information from someone else.
Precisely. We bought Orlok's intel to strike the Lao Shu, but it led us nowhere.
What is the deal, Church?
At the same time, the disciple made his move and attacked our manor.
That doesn't sound like a coincidence.
Yes, and the disciple, or rather, the church, is probably connected to the Lao Shu.
That would connect the dots, but... The church working with the Lao Shu? That doesn't make any sense. Why would the Lao Shu be any better than the Falzones? I couldn't and didn't want to believe that to be true.
When I met the leader of the Lao Shu, Yang, he mentioned he wanted in on the blessings. He also sounded like he knew more about what was going on.
What blessings are there?
He may be getting his information from the church. I heard Orlok say that they won't be offering the same protection that they have been. Isn't that right?
What protection have they been offering? Yes, I recall hearing that as well.
If so... Maybe the Lao Shu intends on earning the church's protection in the Falzone's place.
Ugh, but they've been selling drugs and everything. How could the church possibly think that they're any more worthy?
If they replaced the Falzone, it'd be easy for them to take full control of this town. Or maybe the church simply has them working for hire.
That sounds more likely. Each of us were deep in thought, unable to come up with a clear answer. What is this relic anyway, and what's it supposed to do?
We don't have enough information to act on. What we can assume is that the disciple will try to target her again. Furthermore, it's clear that the church has turned on the Falzone family. You're right, even if we don't yet know what the Lao Shu's true intentions are. It wouldn't be a stretch to assume they're planning to obtain rights to control the town.
Wait, does this mean that Yang is going to be coming after the Falzone? Haven't they been all this time?
Even if the disciple has no reason to strike our manor now, Yang still has a reason, to weaken the Falzone family. And since you're here, the time is ripe for them to attack the manor again. Right, that will probably happen sooner than later. Yang won't let this opportunity slide.
You guys better be prepared over there.
Well, I guess our efforts in reducing their numbers has already started to pay off.
Nicola chuckled and shrugged with irony. Dante nodded briefly, then gave his orders.
Nicola, I'll let you handle our men. Get everyone ready to face the Lao Shu. Understood. What about you? My mission as boss of the Falzone family is to protect her and the relic. Nothing supersedes that duty.
There was tension in the air, but I mustered my courage to ask a simple question. If the Falzone family has been guarding the relic all this time, couldn't you speak with the church? Dante and... Really? You guys never thought about that? Dante and Nicola both looked at me with surprise on their faces. I mean, why would the church suddenly turn its back on the Falzone family? Maybe there was some kind of misunderstanding. It was so obvious we couldn't see it.
True, this is irrational behavior from the church, especially considering that the Falzone has not strayed from its mission. Perhaps we should determine why the church has suddenly decided to betray us. Then let's wrap this up. It seems our priority is...
Nicola paused for a moment, choosing his words carefully.
To gather information, and to find a way to negotiate with the church. Of course, we'll need to tend to the Lao Shu as well.
Busy, busy. Dante nodded in silence. I placed my hand around my cup. It had grown cold again. So many things were being revealed, and I couldn't seem to get myself settled. Well, at least now it seems like we've talked more, so it's nighttime now, so I guess we've been talking a lot and know more things than was actually written here. As my thoughts took me into the night, I felt myself shivering from the cold. It's so cold. Dante, keep me warm. The bitter cold made me think of the warmth I felt with Carlo around. I hope Carlo isn't lonely. What? Carlo? How did you get here? I heard mewing from my feet. Surprised, I picked up Carlo's small body. Why are you here?
I brought him here.
Leo! Leo, I didn't realize you would come.
I just got here, actually. I had to report to the boss.
Aw, thank you, Leo. I see. Are you all right? How has your wound been healing?
You worry too much. It was really just a scratch. I'm all okay now.
Thank goodness. Seeing Leo's bright smile put me at ease once again.
You're here. What do you have for me, Leo? Boss, as you suspected, the Lao Shu struck us at the manor this evening.
Already? Seriously, they are not wasting any time.
We're fine. The police arrived on the scene, so the Lao Shu retreated pretty quickly.
The police? They came?
Yes, and it's all because of the boss. Your setup with Marco was perfect. It really minimized the damage done to us.
I see. That's good to hear. I could feel the tension inside me dissipate after hearing Leo's report.
I expected the Lao Shu to leave when the police arrived, since they could be connected to the church. After all, I doubt the church wants to face the authorities of the Kingdom of Italy.
So, the Lao Shu won't attack the Falzone? Will they leave you alone now?
For the time being, their numbers have also dwindled, so I doubt they'll strike again anytime soon.
Did they lose many in that attack?
But we can't move as an organization either. Yes, the damage was minimal, but we did still take a hit. That disciple hurt a lot of our members, too. I suspect we'll all be at a standstill for now.
I felt unsettled at the idea that we didn't know what would happen next.
That's all I had to report, boss. By the way, is Niccolo around?
Come to think of it, I haven't seen him.
Knowing him, he's probably taking action on his own.
Make up for trusting Orlok?
I'll send him to the manor if he comes here. Niccolo will handle things there as planned. Understood. Also, per your orders, the only ones who know of this place are Niccolo and myself. No one else in the family knows, so I'll be the contact person for now. Good. Be careful that you're not being tracked. Yes, I'll take my leave now.
The room was quiet again with Leo's departure. But at least I have Carlo. The time left felt like it flew by with Carlo and Leo. It's pretty dark outside already. It was dark outside before Leo got here. Say, Dante, I know it's a bit late, but how about I make dinner for us?
It's fine. I'm not feeling hungry.
Well, maybe the smell of my cooking food will make you hungry. I understand this may not be the time to relax and enjoy a meal, but you need to eat because of the current situation. Staying healthy is important. A full stomach could help lift your spirits and keep your energy up.
Then, if you could.
Why, yes, I'll whip something up right away. Something delicious. I cooked dinner using the ingredients Nicola bought, then sat at the table with Dante. Forgive me, it's a bit simple.
No, it's enough.
I should be able to make something better tomorrow.
No, don't push yourself.
Our conversation wasn't faring well. I couldn't seem to come up with any good topics, given the way things were. Maybe you could talk about that book, since Nicola's not here.
Speaking of which...
Dante set down his spoon and looked at me. What do you mean, speaking of which? We weren't speaking at all.
I've eaten the dulce you've made a number of times, but I believe this is the first time I've had your dinner.
Ah. Oh, you're right. If only I could make dinner as good as Julia.
No, it's good. It's comforting.
Ah. I made comfort food. Dante had a gentle look on his face as he spoke to me in a soft tone. I was pleased to hear him compliment my cooking. I washed the dishes after dinner and thought it might be a good time to speak with Dante. Dante? He's not answering me. Dante? Did he fall asleep? With Carlo? No wonder he wasn't answering me. He had fallen asleep on the sofa. I want to see! Give me a picture! Wake up, Dante. You're going to catch a cold like this. Come to think of it, I was sleeping on this sofa last night as well. Huh? But I woke up in bed. Yeah, he carried you. Wait. Did Dante take me there? I was embarrassed at how long it took me to realize that. I was also grateful that he showed such kindness toward me. But I can't carry Dante to bed. I'd like to see her try, though. Not wanting him to catch a cold, I went around the sofa to nudge his shoulder. Dante, wake up. What timing? Carlo suddenly pounced at my feet, swatting them with his tiny clawed paws. Carlo! Ah! I lurched forward, extending my arms out to keep myself from falling. And did I fall on Dante? Ooh, oh yeah. Uh? I found myself looking right into Dante's face. Ooh, look at that sleepy, sexy face. Did I just let out a scream? Or maybe I touched him a bit. Dante's eyelashes fluttered, and his eyelids opened slowly, revealing a cold azure blue.
Lily, what's the matter?
Uh, it's not what you think. I wasn't jumping your bones. You were asleep, so I just wanted to wake you and...
I see. I didn't realize I had fallen asleep.
He was looking right at me, but it seemed he wasn't fully awake yet. But soon the haze in his eyes started to clear, and... He's embarrassed. He's blushing. I noticed a tinge of red sweep across his cheeks as he began to stutter.
Oh, what's going on here?
Notice that I am also not very quick to get up here. I quickly replied, nothing! Nothing's going on here. Nothing to see. Just don't mind me. Well, I just stay here for a little while and stare, as is my wont in this game. Nothing. This is just a coincidence.
But if you didn't do anything, you wouldn't be in this situation.
How very astute. I'm telling the truth. I wasn't trying to do something to you while you were asleep.
Well, even if you did, I could probably counter and pin you down easily.
Unnecessary. That was just an accident, really.
I understand it wasn't malicious, but what do you want me to do here?
Huh?
If you can't push yourself back up, I can help. That is, if you don't mind my holding you.
Wait, let me think for a second. Oh my goodness, don't put so much thought into all this. Why didn't you get up by yourself in the first place? I needed to somehow make space between Dante and myself, but I couldn't move because he was too close. I could feel my heart beating faster now. I can't quite imagine the situation, I guess. What should I do? My mind was starting to overheat. I'm gonna blow a fuse. Looking into his beautiful eyes was mesmerizing. I couldn't get my thoughts together. I felt like I was floating on air. He's gonna have to decide for me. Dante wasn't saying anything. We were both just staring at one another. I wonder how long we've been like this. I came to my senses and moved away. About time. You might as well have kissed him as long as you were there hovering over him. I felt my hands, my body, coming into contact with his when I pushed myself back. But I needed to move, or else I didn't know what would have happened. Oh, come on, it's not like grazing against him is lascivious behavior or anything. I straightened myself up and tried to continue what I was going to say. If you're going to sleep, you should go to the bedroom. You'll catch a cold here.
You're right.
He nodded, then stood up from the sofa. Why is it they think you're going to catch a cold if you sleep on sofas? I mean, as long as you're not freezing, you should be fine. Good night, Dante.
Good night.
With that, Dante walked slowly on shaky knees, as if he were ready to sleep. Well, he was sleeping, so he's probably ready to go back to sleep. I'm going to have to live with Dante here for a while, aren't I? Sounds good to me. Just thinking about what happened was making my heart race again. I shook the thought out of my head and quickly headed to my bedroom. I should go to sleep already. After all, there's no telling what may happen, I thought to myself sternly. Even so, after changing my clothes and climbing into bed, I could feel my heart race even faster. Didn't quite shake it out of my mind completely, huh? Chapter 6. Conscienza? As in, like, conscience? It had been a week since we moved into the Falzone's hideout. I didn't think it would take that long with how quickly everybody was moving. Life here was a lot more peaceful than I expected. How nice! There wasn't anyone around to cater to us, unlike when we lived at the manor. But this place felt a lot more like home. It made me feel a bit better than before. Well, yeah, 'cause you're not used to being waited on in the first place. Also, ever since we moved in, I've noticed things I haven't noticed before. I get to play house with Dante. Morning arrived. I stood in the kitchen, boiling some water to prepare our morning coffee. Morning, honey. Oh, good morning, Dante.
Good morning.
Breakfast will be ready soon. You can have a seat at the table if you'd like. Dante headed to the table without a word. It didn't seem like he was in a bad mood. He just wasn't a morning person. Neither am I. He wakes up on his own, but he rarely ever spoke right out of bed. Come to think of it, I don't recall seeing Dante at breakfast with the others before. Would you like espresso? Or maybe a cup of cappuccino?
Cappuccino.
With plenty of sugar? He didn't answer, but it looked like he nodded. His somewhat childish behavior brought a smile to my face as I worked. Good morning, Carlo. I'll get your milk ready right now. At least he's obvious about what he wants. Here you go. I set down a plate of ricotta cheese with honey and a cup of sweet cappuccino. Dante clasped his hands together in a short prayer, then began eating. Back at the church, we made very hearty breakfast for all the children, but breakfast is usually a lot simpler. It usually includes breads like brioche or cornetto accompanied by a cup of coffee. It seems like Dante eats more when he's served ricotta. He doesn't like things quite so dry. After serving Carlo his milk, I sat at the table. Dante, would you like more honey?
Please.
He really likes sweets. He never verbally expressed his dislike of certain foods, but it did show. Taking note of his choices. His brows might twitch, or he'd stop chewing. I'd start to take notice of these quirks. So cute. I think he likes this breakfast. Good. It looks like the amount of sugar in his cappuccino is just right. I can judge all of his tiny little ticks.
This was quite delicious. Thank you.
You're welcome. Dante's expression looked a lot sharper now after he'd had his breakfast. I decided to speak to him since he seemed bored looking at his empty plate. Oh, I'll take care of it.
Thank you for taking care of everything.
No problem. Keeps me from being bored. Don't mention it. It's the kind of stuff I did at the church anyway. Back at the church, there was a lot more to clean, so this is nothing. I bet he's noticed that I've been doing all the chores because of what happened. Because of what happened? It was the day after we arrived here. Oh no, is he too clumsy? Dante offered to help with chores, but only to accidentally break the dishes. Oh no, he's completely inept. He can't help. He can't take care of me. It wasn't that he was clumsy. Are you sure? He just wasn't accustomed to doing common chores. I never expected him to handle things like this anyway, especially as the family's boss. So I asked him to leave everything to me. He does ask if there's any way he can repay me, though. Ironic, considering he's the one taking care of me with all that's happening. Well, you're taking care of each other. He's bodyguarding you, and you're housekeeping. Actually, this video has to be short because company just arrived, and I can't record with company, sorry. So, yeah, sorry about the shortness of the video. But thanks for joining me. Hope to see you soon or in some of my other videos. Dirili signing out. Bye bye, everybody.